talk to contractors every single week who are paying their agency $2,000 or $3,000 a month and have absolutely no clue if it's actually working. They can't tell me what they changed last month. They can't tell me how many calls they're getting from SEO. All they know is that the invoice showed up and they have some generic report sitting in their inbox. And maybe the worst part is that most contractors have no clue what to actually look for. The issue is there's no real way to tie the work back to actual call data or revenue. A good SEO agency should never feel like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to check if your SEO agency is actually doing their job and if they're actually making you more money. For context, I do run a local SEO firm for home service businesses specifically. We work with plumbing companies, HVAC, electrical, roofing, landscaping, remodeling, general construction, etc. Now, I am not here to bash every SEO agency out there. I own one myself, but I've seen enough to know what the red flags look like and how to actually spot them. Most business owners, when they check their own rankings, they just open up their smartphone, check on Google, and Google already knows everything about your business. They know that you operate the business most likely, or that you're part of it, and you're also right next to your business. You might see yourself ranking. You think everything's fine, we're doing a good job. The problem is that Google is personalizing your results based on the data on your device. That includes your location, what you've clicked before, what websites you have in your search history, all that stuff. If you've clicked your own website 50 times, Google's gonna keep showing it to you. That does not mean that you're ranking in the places that you wanna be for the keywords that you need to be. Your customers who are in different parts of the metro and don't have the same data that your phone does are seeing something completely different. The fix is dead simple. Go to a couple strategic locations around the town or the metro you're trying to serve, open an incognito window, and then search for a term that people would actually look up for your services, not your company name. So that'd be something like plumber near me, or water damage restoration near me, or just, roofing contractors in city. Then look at what you see. First, look at the map pack. That's the top 3 section with the Google business profiles. That's where about 75 to 80% of the local leads go to. If you're not showing up in that map pack section, your agency has work to do. So when I look up on an incognito window and I search for roofing contractor near me, after the sponsored results, which if you're not running ads, you're not going to show up for, we have the map pack. This shows you the top 3 organic results for this search. Now, if you're standing away from your business location, you're in incognito, and you search for this and you're not showing up, but you think you should be, that is kind of the illuminating factor that decides you're not actually ranking as well as you think, or you're not actually ranking as well as your SEO agency claims you are. Now let's look under the map pack, so on the organic results. Obviously we have Yelp, we have BBB, we have GAF, of course, but then we look at the actual roofing companies that are showing up. Your agency might be telling you that you're on page 1, but if you're not in this map pack or one of these top 3 results, typically you're just not going to get the call. So even if you're down here and you're like West Bank Roofing Co., yeah, you're showing up, but you're like 10th or 11th after all these other businesses. You're going to miss most of the leads. So for example, I'm in New Orleans. Let's say that my business is located right here on St. Charles and Jefferson. All right, just bear with me. I know you probably don't know the area. And let's say that I drove over here into the Lower Garden District, right around this Master Maintenance Co., and looked up roofing contractor near me. That's not far away at all, but if I'm not showing up in this top 3 section, like I was right on top of my company in my native browser, not incognito, you're not ranking as well as you think. And that's the thing, your agency might have you ranking for one keyword in one city, maybe super nearby you, or maybe up north over here, but the whole purpose is to show up for the entire metro that you serve, right? Or the entire nearby total addressable market. This is exactly why you need to be shown map pack ranking scans. So this is a tool called Local Dominator. I'm not affiliated, and there's about 100 other tools out there. This is just the one that we use for our clients. Now, when we look at this remodeling company, which we work with in Boston, this is for the keyword kitchen remodeling contractors near me. This is a massive metro and a massive radius that we're actually ranking for. If you're a home service business and you're paying an agency to do your SEO, but they're not showing you this sort of map, they're just showing you organic search results, you are not getting the best local SEO. I can promise you that. Let me break down this map. So your business location is at the center, right? Now, if we look at, let's say over here in like Cambridge, we are showing up first. You can see this 1 star. After all these other companies behind us, we are showing up first. Now, if we click over here in like downtown Boston, we're showing up 4th after 3 other companies. And so this shows you that for this entire radius, we actually have really good coverage. We're showing up 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Our average rank is 2.14. And for 90% of this map, we are top 3, which means we are being found in that map pack. So when I search for this here, boom, top 3 results, map pack. So the point of this is if all the clicks are going to this map pack right here, and these sort of maps indicate how you show up on this map pack, it is of utmost importance that your agency is reporting on these map scans, not just organic search rankings, not just organic search traffic on your website. These map scans are crucial to show you if you're actually moving forward to get more leads, not just traffic. Step number 2 is to look at what backlinks they're building. This is literally one of the easiest ways to tell if your agency's actually doing good SEO work or if they're just coming around, collecting their check, sending you a report. And it only takes about 30 seconds. So backlinks are one of the most important parts of good SEO. If you're not aware, a backlink is pretty much any sort of link that comes from another website and points to your business's website. Google sees the connection as some sort of trust signal. The more quality links you have from quality websites, the more trust, the higher your Google rankings are. So most good SEO agencies do include link building in their packages or plans for you. The real question is whether the links they're building are actually worth anything. So a good backlink for a local home service business will come from 2 different types of sites. Either one that is super industry relevant, so it's in your industry, or a relevant or parallel industry, and then also if it's local. So for the industry relevant ones, that could be a link from a partnered business in your same market or a different market in the States. Let's say that you're a kitchen remodeling contractor and you get a link from a plumbing company and you guys are kind of partnered, they give you a backlink. That's really, really powerful. A few other good examples of industry relevant links are links from your suppliers' websites, any popular industry-wide directories online, and then super relevant and quality, not just spammy, home improvement blogs that actually list information about your industry. A few examples of really good local backlinks are going to be your local chamber of commerce, any sort of local paid business directories, and then also any other real businesses in your actual market. A bad backlink comes from some foreign finance blog website from another country that doesn't actually have any sort of relevance to your business. Your agency might be telling you, oh, but it has good domain authority. It's 80 out of 100 domain authority. There's a high domain rating. There's a lot of traffic. And it's like, okay, cool. That might have worked 5 to 10 years ago. Nowadays, we're in this era that Google only cares about relevant backlinks. So here's how to check them in about 30 seconds. So this is a tool called Ahrefs. This is a tool that a lot of SEOs use and kind of rely on. If you don't have Ahrefs, you can get a free trial or you can use another free tool to check your links. The whole premise is to enter your website URL and then go into this backlink section right here. So just click on this. And if you're not following, you can actually DM me on Twitter. I'll run a quick backlink scan for you for completely free because I enjoy helping companies find if their SEO is actually working. So when we're looking at some of these recent links, we have BBB, we have a local Yahoo post, which is like a forum post. We have some actual like local directories, New Orleans. We have what seems to be like some kind of home improvement nationwide blogs, which are okay because these are listicle articles. So I can see that they are working with an agency who's doing either press releases or just publishing articles on these sort of, home improvement websites. Looks like they're getting links from other directories, another home improvement blog. And so the point is, I would give this like a B, maybe a B plus. They're getting some relevant links. They're relevant enough. They have some domain authority. They have traffic, but they're not super, super relevant. So they have directories, which are important. But when we talk about what actually moves the needle, I'm not seeing too many real business partnerships. So if I looked at this and said, oh, they're getting a link from New Orleans Plumbing Company and New Orleans Electrician Company and New Orleans Electrical Company, and they have links from like their 2 partners for shingles, and they have links from their metal roofing partner and their suppliers and all that sort of stuff, then it's like, okay, Google sees you are extremely embedded in not only your local industry, not only your local market, but your industry as well. So just to recap, not all backlinks are created equal, and in fact, some are actually hurting your business's chances at ranking. So let's walk through the real links. Some really good types of links for local home service companies. Local chamber of commerce, yes, it is paid. Typically, it's worth the money. Supplier or vendor website. So if you're an HVAC company, getting links from all the main suppliers that you actually rely on, or the distributors, like the local distributors of those suppliers, that is an incredible way to get really good local and industry relevant backlinks. The next is local news mentions. So your agency, if they're really good at link building, they're going to be doing some PR for you. Ideally some local PR as well as national PR. You can get listed on the biggest local news sites with kind of any sort of article of their choosing. Next is going to be some other really strong business directories. So that's going to be Better Business Bureau, Angie, House, depending on your industry. Getting these set up with the same name, address, and phone number that you have on your Google business profile is critical. And then finally, like community sponsorship pages, these crush. So any sort of like nonprofits in your area or charities, if you can donate to those out of good faith, of course, but then also negotiate a backlink from their website as like a partner or donors, that is incredible. And then the last tier is just local business partnerships. So let's say your buddy has an electrical company, you have a plumbing company, you don't plan on crossing paths in terms of the services you offer anytime soon. You should have them create a partners page on their website. It can be hidden and then link to your website from their partners page. So just to recap, quality over quantity, 10 real links, and I'll even say like one real link beats 1,000 junk links. By junk links, here's what I mean. So random, offshore foreign blogs, anything that's super spammy. You're going to see some really crappy SEO agencies building links from like porn websites, casino websites, gambling websites, anything relating to like adult content or porn, and 100 domain authority. Do not get links from there for your local service business. I promise you. Oftentimes you'll see agencies just go to Fiverr and purchase one of those bulk packs of like 500 citations or 500 backlinks for like $10. And I promise you, those links are terrible. In fact, a lot of what we do for new companies is actually spend the first month or two getting rid of all those crappy links that their previous agency built for them. So if you're checking your backlinks and you're seeing a bunch of these really crappy links that your agency's building for you, you want to be on high alert. And if they're not willing to show you the links that they're building that you are paying for each month, that's an even bigger problem. Quick pause. If you're watching this video and checking these things off in your head saying, yep, that's my agency, you're not alone. About 80% of all the business owners that I talk to have already been through this. If you're a home service business doing over $1 million a year in revenue and you want us to just take a look at what your current agency is doing and give you kind of the BS checker, we'll do a quick audit for you, check the rankings, and tell you if they're actually helping you move the needle and get you more business. Click the first link in the description below to apply to work with us and get a consultation call with myself. But first, let me show you a few more things that you need to check. Step 3, is your Google business profile set up right and optimized? Your Google business profile is the most important asset you have for local SEO. Far more important than your website for actually getting phone calls. And I can't tell you how many business owners I speak to every single week that are paying an agency for SEO and they're a local home service business and their agency doesn't even touch their Google business profile. Oftentimes they're missing a bunch of basic stuff. Wrong business category, missing services or products, no photos or reviews from the last year, missing all the right settings. So here's what a neglected Google business profile looks like. You have the wrong primary category. Let's say you're in California, most people are not repairing their furnaces. It's heavily AC work. And your business category is HVAC contractor, but you want to rank for AC repair terms, you need to make it air conditioning repair service. Your primary category on your Google business profile should be AC repair service. Next is not having the right services listed. So Google business profile lets you actually put all of the services you offer under the services section and the product section. If your agency hasn't built this out for you, they're probably not working on your profile. Next is not having recent photos. It speaks for itself. And probably the most important is not having review responses to the reviews that you're getting. So if you're doing good work, you're getting a bunch of reviews, which is, by the way, super critical for ranking higher on Google. I promise you. It is of utmost importance you get consistent reviews from your customers. But if the agency isn't responding to the reviews or you aren't, you're missing out on a critical part of SEO. The next is just having a generic business description. There's actually a lot that you can do with that description in order to show Google you are trusted and you also offer all the right services. And then finally, if it's linked to the homepage and you have multiple profiles, it's probably not optimal. Here's what an optimized Google business profile looks like. And I'm actually just going to show you an example of this. So here's a really killer Google business profile. So first things first, the business name has 3 keywords in it. They have air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. Now, obviously, this is pretty common for big HVAC companies. You have all 3 of your main services. Let's say you do the Holy Trinity, AC, you do HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. Likely their business name is not actually Natal's AC, plumbing, and electrical. It's probably just like Natal's LLC or Natal's Service LLC, whatever it might be. But what they did is they probably got a DBA or doing business as to actually put keywords in their business name. This gives them a direct ranking advantage for any sort of air conditioning, plumbing or electrical searches. The next is having the right business profile category. So they have HVAC contractor because they don't only offer AC, they also offer plumbing and electrical, which is just a little bit more general, kind of falls into the bigger HVAC category. Next is their reviews. They are absolutely killing it on reviews. And what they do is they actually respond to all the new reviews, typically within 24 hours, which is optimal. Next is they have all their services as products on their Google business profile. So you can see this. Now Google has structured data and so do language models that they can pull from about EV charger installation and what they do. They're actually posting consistently. So it looks like a few times a week they're posting, which is super, super important. They're doing learn more buttons and they link out to relevant, promotions they're running or relevant like service pages or location pages. Absolutely critical. Finally, they have all their social profiles linked and they have an optimized Google business profile description to prove that they have social proof with their license number and then also the services that they offer. So if your agency's been managing your profile and SEO for 6 months, but you notice that you don't even have services or new photos or products or your reviews aren't being responded to, chances are they're probably not doing the best that they can be. By the way, these aren't advanced tactics. This is like the bare minimum, okay? Step 4, what do they actually show you each month in their reporting? This is probably the biggest complaint I see from all the companies I speak to and work with eventually. You're paying $2,000 to $5,000 a month for your SEO, but they send you jargon-filled technical reports and you have no clue what's actually going on. You get what? A PDF with some charts you don't even understand? A Zoom call where they just talk in circles and kind of tell you, yeah, it's working and look, the traffic's going up. Every single month you should know exactly what they did, what progress they're making on the map rankings, the calls and the revenue they're generating you, and what's coming next month. In my opinion, at a minimum, your SEO agency should show you these 3 things every single month. First, what rankings actually changed. And by rankings, I'm primarily referring to map rankings. So not just, hey, we're working on it, this ranking's going up, but showing you before, so from the previous month, and then after, or the current present day. You need to see the change that they're actually bringing to your map rankings, which by the way, again, if you didn't watch the first part of the video, they are the most important kind of metric of actually getting visibility and getting clicks and calls. Second, what work did they actually do? Now, I'll be honest, a lot of business owners and even some of our own clients don't really give a shit about what we do. They just want to see the results, which is fine. But I think for companies that want to be a little bit more in the loop, you need to be able to see what backlinks they're building, what new pages they're building, what is the page content they're writing, what press releases are they publishing, not just a summary that says ongoing on-page optimization, good SEO, good. Third, and probably the most important, is either leads or revenue data. So how many calls, form submits, online bookings, or messages are they actually bringing you from organic search, not just overall, but from SEO specifically, every single month? And if they can't answer those questions, they're not tracking it. If they're not tracking it, and if you're not tracking it, how do you know if you're actually getting a return on investment or ROI? So what's actually in your SEO report? Well, a bad report, here's what that looks like. Ongoing optimization. We're building authority. There's a traffic graph with no context. Impressions are up 15%. Impressions don't really matter. It's more about clicks and actual calls. There's no lead data, so they're not actually telling you, hey guys, SEO brought a 15% increase in your calls this past month. There's also no completed task list. So depending on the relationship you have with your agency, ideally you want them to be sending you a list of actually what they're doing every single month, not just like generally optimization, but like we built 3 backlinks, here's those backlinks. And then finally, there's no revenue attribution. Now I understand some companies don't want to share this data with their agencies. For us, about 50% of the companies we work with were directly integrated in their CRM, and we are responsible for tracking the revenue we bring them. And it's great because within a matter of months, we can see, hey, we're having a huge impact on you, or hey, we're not. Maybe we're not the best fit. Now, here's what a good report looks like. They show keyword ranking improvements with position changes. So how was it last month? How is it now? Most importantly, they're actually reporting on those heat maps that I showed you earlier, which as you can see, like this. More importantly, they actually report on these heat map changes. So hey, this month it was like this, last month it was like this. We made a huge change. They're actually showing you the leads from organic. So hey, you got 23 calls and 11 form submits from SEO this past month. Here's what it was the previous month. Here's what it was the previous year, the same period. And then finally, revenue attributed to SEO or from SEO. and then also the tasks completed this month. A lot of agencies will point directly to organic search traffic numbers. And traffic's fine, but it's not the point. Here's why. A lot of agencies, their strategy is to build a bunch of blog content. And with blog articles, it's super simple to rank for long tail keywords that are like top 5 home improvement HVAC tips. Those aren't people with money in hand ready to pay for your service. And so that traffic that they're bringing in is actually worthless to some extent. The metrics that actually matter are calls, leads, revenue, and then from the SEO side of things, those map pack changes pretty much. Step 5, this is the question that tells you everything. There is just one question I'd ask your agency that will determine if they're actually helping you or going to help you in the future. Ask them, how many leads did we get this past month from SEO? And how was it 6 months ago? If they can't answer that clearly and pretty quickly, it's going to be pretty difficult to actually gauge their impact on your business, because revenue might be going up, but you might also have 3 or 4 other marketing channels that you're constantly investing in as well. Now, if they say, yeah, sure, so we got 46 leads this past month, 30% of those were lead forms, the other 70% were phone calls, here's what they converted to, you cash collected about $28,000 from SEO this past month. Awesome. They're probably tracking the right things. Because the thing is, an agency doing really good work is going to want to attribute their work to revenue for you. They're proud of them. I can at least speak for myself. When we kill it for a home service business, let's say it's a plumbing company, we book them, 45 sewer quotes and 30% convert to sales, and they cash collect like $115,000 in a month. That is awesome. And more importantly, I want to shove it in their face and show them, hey, guys, we're killing it for you. That way, they stay with us longer. We also report on the results accurately so we can monitor our progress over time, and we get an awesome case study as the agency. An agency that's not really focused about actually making you money is going to kind of avoid and dance around the topic of how much money you're making. They might say they have a super long-term strategy and cash collected up front doesn't matter, and while SEO does take time, it's important to track these things. Again, I want to be straight about something. I run a local SEO firm, so I know how easy it is for agencies to hide behind jargon-filled reports and constantly telling you SEO takes time. I've seen what really bad agencies do because A, I started out as one years ago, and then B, I compete against them all the time nowadays. And I'd be lying if I said we've never had a company that we've had bad months with or haven't crushed it for. Everyone does. But there's a big difference between slow progress and no accountability. So here's what we try to do differently. We're month to month, so there's no long-term mandatory contracts. If we're not earning your business every single month by at least the work we're doing, if not the results we're getting, you can walk away. That forces us to actually perform each month and keep you in the loop on all the steps we're taking in order to make you more money. When an agency locks you into a 12 or even 16-month contract, which I've seen before, they just don't have the same pressure to deliver and make you more money. Number 2, every client gets a clear view of what we're doing every single month. Rankings tracked, work completed, revenue brought in, leads attributed, the whole 9 yards. We track calls, messages, form submissions from the website, and revenue data all the way back to our SEO work. You can see exactly what came in from SEO and what didn't. So if the numbers aren't where they should be, which does happen, we talk about why and what we're adjusting to make it happen. I know what you might be thinking. I'm not saying all this to sell you on our service. I'm saying it because we work super hard to maintain these standards for our company and our clients, and I want this to be kind of the new standard for SEO agencies out there. If your current agency is doing all this already, dude, awesome, keep working with them. But if they're not, you now know what to ask for. So if you're a home service business owner doing over $1 million a year in revenue, and you've been through a couple agencies before with nothing to show for it, I get you. That's about 60 to 70% of the people that come to us. If you want my team and I to take a look at what they're currently doing for you, your current rankings, what's holding you back from ranking higher, put together a little bit of a strategy to actually show you how to get there, apply to work with us and get a consultation with me at the first link in the description below. See you in the next video.